Out automobile, welcome to Start. Close your eyes for a second, and imagine the sound of pure American muscle, echoing through a quiet street, a deep thunder that doesn't fade but grows stronger with every heartbeat. That sound belongs to a legend reborn, a name that once ruled highways and drag strips, now returning with more attitude, more power, and more presence than ever before. This is the 2026 Ford Torino Cobra, not just a car, but a declaration that raw performance still matters in a world obsessed with silence and screens. The Torino name carries history, and Ford knows that history very well. Back in the golden era of muscle cars, Torino wasn't built to impress critics or chase trends. It was built to dominate. Long hood, wide body, brutal engines, and a personality that demanded respect. Bringing this name back in 2026 wasn't an easy decision, and that's exactly why Ford went all in. The Torino Cobra is not nostalgia for decoration, it's nostalgia with teeth. From the very first glance, the 2026 Torino Cobra commands attention. This is not a car you ignore in traffic. It sits low and wide, like it's gripping the road even while parked. The front end is aggressive without being messy, sharp without being over-designed. The grille is wide and dark, almost like an open mouth ready to swallow the asphalt ahead. Sitting proudly within it is the Cobra emblem, a symbol that tells you everything you need to know before the engine even starts. The headlights are slim, modern LED units, but they carry an angry expression, almost like narrowed eyes watching the road ahead. At night, they slice through darkness with authority, making the Torino Cobra instantly recognizable from a distance. The hood stretches long and muscular, with functional vents that release heat from the beast underneath. These are not fake details. Every opening, every crease, every line exists for a reason. The body lines flow with tension, not softness. The sides are sculpted, powerful, and bold, reminding you of classic muscle cars while still feeling completely modern. Massive wheels fill the wheel arches perfectly, giving the car a planted, unstoppable stance. The tires are wide, aggressive, and clearly designed to handle serious power. This is not a car built for gentle cruising alone, it's built to bite when pushed. Move around to the rear, and the Torino Cobra leaves no doubt about its intentions. Quad exhaust tips sit proudly, announcing that this car breathes fire. The rear design is clean but muscular, with a subtle performance spoiler that adds downforce without ruining the classic silhouette. The taillights pay tribute to the past while using modern LED technology, glowing with a sharp, confident intensity that looks incredible at night. But let's be honest, the real soul of the 2026 Ford Torino Cobra lives under the hood. This is where Ford reminds everyone why the Cobra name still sends chills down spines. The heart of this machine is a supercharged V8 engine, expected to produce well over 700 horsepower. This isn't about efficiency charts or eco badges. This is about power, sound, and emotion. When you start the Torino Cobra, it doesn't quietly wake up. It roars to life. The engine note is deep, mechanical, and alive, sending vibrations through the cabin and straight into your chest. At idle, it growls like a predator waiting for the signal to attack. Press the throttle, and the sound transforms into a furious roar that fills the air and announces your presence long before you arrive. Acceleration is violent in the best way possible. The Torino Cobra doesn't build speed gently. It launches. 0 to 60 happens in a flash, but the numbers alone don't tell the full story. What matters is how it feels. Your body pushed back into the seat, the rear tires fighting for grip, the engine screaming with joy as it pulls relentlessly through the gears. This is the kind of acceleration that makes your hands grip the steering wheel tighter, without you even realizing it. Ford understands real enthusiasts, and that's why the 2026 Torino Cobra is expected to offer a proper manual transmission, a real mechanical connection between driver and machine. Every shift feels deliberate, solid, satisfying. For those who prefer ultimate speed and convenience, a high-performance automatic is also available, delivering lightning-fast shifts that keep the engine right in its power band. Either way, the experience is intense and addictive. Handling is where the Torino Cobra surprises people who still believe muscle cars can't turn. This car is engineered to do more than just go fast in a straight line. Designed, a rigid chassis, advanced suspension setup, adaptive dampers, and modern performance tuning give the Torino Cobra confidence in corners. It feels planted, stable, and surprisingly precise for a car with this much power. Steering is direct and communicative. You don't feel disconnected from the road. You feel it. Every input matters. But every correction counts. When you push the Torino Cobra through a curve, it responds with controlled aggression. Doesn't feel nervous or unpredictable. It feels alive, engaged, ready to play. Braking performance is equally impressive. Massive high-performance brakes provide strong, consistent stopping power even after repeated hard use. Pedal feel is firm and reassuring, giving you confidence to push the car harder knowing it can slow down just as aggressively. As it accelerates, this balance between power and control is what elevates the Torino Cobra from a simple muscle car to a true modern performance machine. Step inside the cabin, and the Torino Cobra continues to impress. The interior is designed around the driver, not as a rolling screen but as a cockpit. High-quality materials surround you: leather, alcantara, brushed metal accents, all carefully chosen to match the car's aggressive personality. The seats are heavily bolstered, holding you firmly in place during hard driving, while remaining comfortable enough for long journeys. The Cobra logo is stitched into the seats and subtly placed throughout the cabin, reminding you that this is something special. The digital instrument cluster offers multiple display modes, from classic muscle-style gauges to modern performance readouts, showing boost pressure, temperatures, lap times, and G-forces. You can customize it to match your mood, whether you want a clean cruise or full performance data. The infotainment system is modern, fast, and responsive, offering smartphone connectivity, navigation, and a premium sound system. But unlike many modern cars, it doesn't steal attention from the driving experience. It's there when you need it and invisible when you don't. The real soundtrack comes from the engine, not the speakers. Driving modes allow you to transform the Torino Cobra's personality instantly. In comfort mode, it can behave surprisingly well, calm enough for daily driving and long highway cruises. Weish Beatrice design switch to sport or track mode, and everything sharpens. Throttle response becomes immediate. Bends, suspension stiffens, steering tightens. The exhaust opens up, unleashing the full voice of the V8. The car transforms from a calm cruiser into a full-blown animal. One of the most emotional aspects of the 2026 Ford Torino Cobra is how it makes you feel. This is not a car designed only for spec sheets or social media posts. It's built for moments. Late-night drives with empty roads. Early morning starts when the city is still asleep. That smile you can't control when you hear the engine fire up. This is a car that creates memories. Ford didn't just revive a name, they revived a philosophy. The Torino Cobra is about freedom, expression, and passion. It's about enjoying the journey, not just reaching the destination. In a world where many cars feel similar, filtered, and disconnected, the Torino Cobra stands out by being honest and bold. Safety technology is present but not intrusive. Advanced driver assistance features are available to help when needed, but they don't override the driver's control. This is still a driver's car at its core. You're in charge, and the car respects that. Fuel efficiency is not the headline here, and it doesn't need to be. The Torino Cobra isn't pretending to be something it's not. It's a performance icon, and it embraces that identity fully. People who buy this car know exactly what they're getting, and that's the point. On the road, the Torino Cobra demands attention. People look. Phones come out. Conversations start at traffic lights and gas stations. This is the kind of car that brings people together, that sparks stories and memories. It reminds older enthusiasts of the past and introduces younger drivers to what muscle cars are truly about. The sound alone is enough to turn heads. In its most aggressive exhaust mode, the Torino Cobra announces itself with authority. It's loud, but not obnoxious. Powerful, but not messy. Every rev feels purposeful, every downshift sounds like a challenge. The balance between classic muscle attitude and modern engineering is what makes the 2026 Ford Torino Cobra so special. It doesn't feel like a retro toy. It feels like a serious, well-developed performance car with a soul. A car that respects its heritage while confidently stepping into the future. Designed collectors will see it as a future classic. Enthusiasts will see it as a dream machine. Drivers will see it as an escape from the ordinary. No matter who you are, the Torino Cobra leaves an impression. This car is not for people who want to blend in. It's for people who want to feel something every time they drive. For people who believe that cars should have character, emotion, and a voice. The 2026 Ford Torino Cobra proves that muscle cars are not dead. They've evolved, they've matured, but they have never lost their heart. This car is proof that power, sound, and passion still have a place in the modern automotive world. When you park it and walk away, you look back. Every time, when you start it, your pulse rises. Every time. That's not an accident. That's design. That's intent. The Torino Cobra is more than metal and horsepower. It's an experience, a statement, and a reminder. A reminder of why driving matters. 1% of why cars can be more than machines. In the end, the 2026 Ford Torino Cobra doesn't try to convince you with words or numbers. It convinces you the moment you hear it, the moment you feel it move, the moment you realize that some legends don't fade. They come back stronger, louder, and more unforgettable than ever before.